Being an empowered woman time. Yay, I'm going to tell a story of something that happened 6 years ago. I was cheated on. I use these because I don't believe that a person was ever cheated on. I believe the person who cheats is really cheating themselves, right? And I say that because I'm not a victim. Something's happened that led to the demise of the marriage that I was in. I think around 6 years ago. The person I was with sent nudes, whatever, texts, speaking ill of his new wife to another woman because he felt insecure, self-sabotage, disempowered. This new woman made him feel more powerful, blah, 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 blah. None of his actions had anything to do with me. Now, we may have gotten in disagreements, or maybe he didn't feel like he could fully self-express, and maybe he didn't feel blah, 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 whatever the reason was that led him to do that thing. I can either make that about me, and I just must not have been good enough, and I just must not have been. I can make it personal, like his wrongdoings. Like, he had every opportunity to be an honest man and to tell me, you know, I'm feeling like I want to go outward of this relationship. I'm feeling sexually attracted to other. He chose not to do that. He chose to lie and withhold and keep secrecy. Those were his choices. His choices had nothing to do with me, and it's up to me to take things personal or not to. I get to be the decision maker of whether I take something personal or whether I don't. I chose in those moments, even though it was so painful because I started questioning my reality. Who did I marry? Blah, blah, blah. It was very, very painful. I cried a lot. I grieved a lot. And I had the opportunity at that point in my life, having done a lot of spiritual work, to go, this is not about me. This has nothing to do with me. That man's in pain. He didn't know how to self-express. This is a him thing. Now, I could have done what a lot of people do and started generalizing men and go, well, men suck. They're cheaters. They're all cheaters. They all suck. So I'm going to close my heart off to men and relationships and be single and be a boss babe and start killing it because I don't need a man. Thank God, I didn't do that. I instead went, that's one man's pain. I'm not going to generalize. I believe generalization is the terrible thing to do for our unconscious mind. I'm going to go, that's that man's pain. I want love. I want marriage. I'm going to keep my heart open, even just a little bit, just in case there's somebody new who wants to take over my heart, which there was. And thank God, because I immediately, like, when opening my heart, even like someone else came through. Johnny came through, a very opposite type of man, a very integral, honest, moral, loving, safe, warm man that was more appropriate. God had other plans for me. And I had to be the one that was open as well. I had to have the one that to have the willingness to go, you know what? I'm not going to let one man's pain and wrongdoing taint my experience of the good men out there. I tell this story because I think that I see a lot of people in victim mode, and we don't have to be in victim mode. We don't have to play that game. We get to choose in any moment whether to be the victim or the victor. And I have to make a conscious choice in moments where I feel like I'm a victim to go, okay, that was one time, something that happened 6 years ago, 20 years ago. Do I want to replay it in my mind and use it as something to keep me from moving forward in being empowered in my life? Or do I want to go, what did I learn from that lesson? What could I do differently next time? What can I do moving forward so that I can be a woman of an example on this planet and have the actual life that I want and not let fear run my life? So I'm telling this story to hopefully empower us to not let our past dictate our present, not let our past dictate our future, but let the present dictate the present. We can choose in any moment how we see the world. Do we want to see it through the eyes of poor me, poor me, poor me? Or do we want to see it through the eyes of, cool, that happened. Here's what I learned from it. Here's what I'm going to do. And also, what was my part in that? That's a huge one. If we don't have any accountability of our part in this situation, no one's going to want to talk to us. If I can't say, oh, you know what? He showed me some red flags and I painted them green. I loved the story with which we had. And there was some times where my body was like, no, I don't trust you really, but I didn't learn. I needed to learn how to trust my body. I didn't grow up checking in. How do you feel, man? And I was so You know, like, is everybody else okay? And then if you're okay, then I'm okay. And if that's somebody, if that's you, what a great opportunity to start nurturing that relationship with yourself. Cause that's where I'm in the process of now, is like learning to really check within. How does this really feel? And am I a person that's okay to say no to somebody? Because for a long time, I did not know how to say no. I was so scared that my no would make you uncomfortable, and then there would be conflict, and I don't know how to deal with conflict. So I'll just say yes and override my deep down feelings, and I'll just self-abandon. And I don't want that for us. Hence why I'm telling this story. I love you guys. I hope this landed. Mwah.